All right, everyone, get ready for a deep dive. We're jumping into the world of AI today, and specifically, what's powering its crazy growth data centers. Those behind the scenes beasts that make all those cool AI apps you use every day actually work. And guess what? There's this new partnership that's kind of shaken things up.
Yeah, it's pretty huge. We've got Nokia and Lenovo, two big names, joining forces. They're taking on those AI workloads, and they're only getting tougher to handle.
So we found this article in Total Telecom, and it really breaks it all down. In this deep dive, we're going to try to figure out why this partnership matters and what it means, for the future of AI and all that. Maybe we could start with a little background. Like, what are Nokia and Lenovo known for in this data center world?
Okay, so Lenovo, they're really strong when it comes to servers and storage, the hardware side. Think of it as the stuff that stores and processes all that information. And then you got Nokia. They're leaders in networking tech for data centers, especially security, which is obviously a big deal.
So they're each good at what they do, but why team up? What's the big idea here?
Well, they're going for a complete solution for all those companies jumping into AI head first. They're combining Lenovo's really powerful ThinkSystem servers and storage with Nokia's networking tech. And here's the kicker, they're bringing in Nokia's brand new event-driven automation platform. It's called EDA.
ED. Okay. Before we get into that, can we just talk about why these AI workloads are so demanding? I mean, what makes them so different from just regular everyday computing?
Imagine trying to train a self-driving car. It has to analyze tons of data in real time from all those sensors, cameras, and GPS, to make these split-second decisions. That's just one example, and it's incredibly demanding. AI, especially machine learning, it eats data for breakfast. It relies on processing these huge data sets, and that just slams the brakes on computing power, storage, you name it.
So it's like trying to fit the entire Library of Congress onto a tiny little computer and then asking it to, like, make sense of everything in a blink of an eye.
Exactly. And that's where automation steps in and EDA comes in. It's designed to kind of take on the heavy lifting. It can handle things like allocating resources, optimizing performance, and even spot problems before they blow up the whole system.
Wait, back up a sec. How does this EDA thing actually automate anything? That sounds like magic or something.
They're pretty clever. So let's say there's this sudden spike in traffic to a website using AI. Maybe it's some crazy online sale or something. Normally that would just overload the system. But EDA, it can automatically throw more server power at the problem, keeps everything running smooth for all those shoppers, all without anyone lifting a finger.
So it's like having a super smart traffic cop inside the data center, directs traffic, prevents any crashes. I'm starting to see why everyone's so excited about automation.
It's not just, about being easy. Automation is mission critical for efficiency, flexibility, and security, especially with all this AI stuff going on.
Okay, let's take those one by one. Starting with efficiency. How does automation make data centers more efficient?
Well, these AI workloads can be super unpredictable. Demand goes up and down like crazy depending on what the AI is up to. Managing it manually, ugh, forget about it. It'd be a nightmare, slow, and full of mistakes.
Hmm.
But automation, it lets the data center react instantly. Resources go right where they're needed, exactly when they're needed, less wasted energy, better performance. Everyone wins.
Yeah, I get it. It's all about working smarter, not harder. What about flexibility? How does automation help with that?
Flexibility, that's all about rolling with the punches, right? And the world of AI, it's always changing. Automation lets data centers scale up or down as needed. New AI applications, unexpected traffic, it can handle it. It's almost like the data center can transform itself, rearrange things on the fly to deal with whatever gets thrown at it.
So it's like a transformer data center. Always changing, always getting the job done. I kind of like that image. But what about the security part? We're talking about AI systems dealing with potentially some pretty sensitive data, right?
Absolutely. And security is, well, it's everything. This is where Nokia's experience really shines. They've got this multi-layered security approach, firewalls, intrusion detection, these super smart algorithms all working together to keep the data center safe. Yeah, it's like having this whole team of digital security guards that never sleep. They're always watching for anything suspicious and can shut down threats instantly.
That's good to know, especially with AI getting so, involved in our lives these days. But we can't forget about the whole environmental impact, right? Data centers, they're kind of notorious for using a ton of energy.
Definitely a big concern. The good news is that both Nokia and Lenovo are making energy efficiency a priority. They're trying to keep costs down for companies while at the same time, shrinking that environmental footprint. Win-win, right?
For sure. So how are they actually making those data centers more sustainable?
Well, Lenovo's been doing some really cool stuff with their Neptune technology. It's liquid cooling. Instead of using all those power-hungry air conditioners, they're using water to keep the servers cool.
Okay, so I'm picturing like servers taking a swim in a pool. How does that actually work?
Not quite a swimming pool, but yeah, similar idea. They've got this closed loop system where water flows through the servers, picks up the heat, and then carries it off to a cooling unit. Way more efficient than air cooling, and it can really slash energy use.
It's like swapping out a gas guzzler for an electric car, but for, a whole data center. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it really shows how much innovation is happening here. We're not just talking about small tweaks. This is like a whole new way of designing and running data centers.
It seems like this whole Nokia Lenovo partnership is a sign of the times. We're seeing tons of investment in AI infrastructure everywhere. What's driving that?
It's a bunch of things, really. First, computing power is getting cheaper. That means more people can actually develop AI now. Then we're generating just mountains of data these days and AI algorithms. They love data, more power.
It's like AI has this bottomless stomach for data and we're just shoveling it in.
Exactly. And then there's this growing realization that AI can solve all sorts of problems and, open up new possibilities in pretty much every industry. Healthcare, finance, transportation, even entertainment, you name it.
So we're like on the verge of an AI revolution, and this whole shift in data center tech is like building the foundation for it all.
Definitely an exciting time to be watching all of this unfold. It's not just about faster computers. It's about changing how we process information, make decisions, interact with the world, the whole shebang.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground. The partnership, the challenges with AI workloads, the solutions that are offering, the whole big picture of AI's impact. But let's bring it back to our listener for a sec. Why should they care about all of this?
It's about understanding what's shaping the future. AI is going to have a huge impact on all of our lives, and the infrastructure that supports it, that's going to play a big role in whether that impact is good or bad.
So it's not just about nerding out over the latest gadgets. It's about understanding what these changes mean, how they'll affect our world.
Exactly. It's not just a tech story. It's a human story.
Yeah.
And we're all part of it.
Well said. Now I'm curious about something. This partnership, they're really pushing automation. But what about the balance between, human oversight and AI making decisions? How do you see that evolving in like the data center of the future?
That's a question that a lot of experts are debating, even among themselves. There's no easy answer. But I think in the future, it'll be this delicate dance between human intelligence and, artificial intelligence.
Oh, delicate dance. I like that. So you're not like predicting a robot takeover of the data center.
Not exactly. AI is amazing at handling mountains of data and making those super fast calculations. But human judgment, intuition, ethics, that's still vital, especially when things get tricky. Think of it as a partnership. AI can boost human capabilities.
So like a co-pilot in the data center, helping us navigate, but ultimately the human's still the pilot.
Perfect analogy. As AI keeps evolving, keeping that balance is going to take constant work. We need to watch for biases in algorithms, make sure these AI systems are transparent and accountable, and keep asking ourselves, what are the consequences of all this?
It sounds like a constant learning process for both, humans and machines.
Definitely. That's what makes this whole field so fascinating. It's not some fixed endpoint. It's this, ever-changing journey of discovery, always adapting.
This has been a really insightful deep dive. I feel like I've got a whole new understanding of the role data centers play in this, AI-driven world.
Glad to hear it. And remember, this is just the start. The story of AI and its impact, we're still writing it. And we all get to have a say in how it turns out.
Yeah, it feels like we're at this turning point, right? Like the start of something completely new. But I keep thinking about control. If data centers are getting more and more automated, relying on AI to run themselves, are we basically handing the keys over to the machines?
I think that question, it really gets at the heart of why people are nervous about AI. But we got to remember, automation doesn't equal, giving up control entirely. It's more like delegating. AI takes care of the complicated stuff, while we humans, we set the goals, the priorities.
So it's like you have this really good assistant who handles all the details, so we can focus on the big picture.
Exactly. Think of like a conductor leading an orchestra. They don't play every instrument, right? They set the tempo, they guide the musicians, they make sure everything works together. In this case, the AI is like the musicians, super talented at their specific thing, and humans, we're the conductor. making sure it all comes together.
Okay, I like that. It's a lot less robots taking over and more like teamwork. But how do we make sure that humans stay in that conductor role? That the AI doesn't, go rogue or something?
Transparency and accountability, those are key. We have to design these AI systems so that we can understand how they work, how they make decisions, and be able to step in if we need to. We also need those clear ethical guidelines, boundaries, so AI stays within the lines.
Like building in safety features, kind of like a circuit breaker that shuts everything down if things go haywire.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And just as important, we got to keep learning and adapting. The world of AI, it's moving fast. We need to stay ahead of the curve, keep figuring out what all these changes mean, and adjust how we do things as we go.
It's a constant balancing act, isn't it? Finding that sweet spot, using the power of AI, but keeping humans in control.
It is. And it's a responsibility we all share. Whether you're a tech whiz, someone making policy, or just someone who uses AI every day, we all need to be part of this conversation, help shape the future of this game-changing technology.
Well, you've definitely given us a lot to think about. I went from feeling kind of overwhelmed by all this AI stuff to feeling like, I can be part of the solution.
That's great to hear. Remember, knowledge is power. The more we understand AI, the better we can handle all these changes coming our way.
Couldn't agree more. So, to everyone listening, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into AI, automation, and data centers. It's a complicated world, changing all the time, but it's also full of possibility. As we move into this AI-powered future, stay curious, keep asking questions, and never stop learning. Thanks for listening. Until next time, keep on diving deep.